118.
First leg, John to throw first. Game on.
So John Part, the big Canadian. Such a recognisable throw he's got where he... A couple of feints before he lets go of the dart.
46.
Not exactly the start he would have wanted.
Got a real fast action as Campbell. Not a lot of backlift, as I say, but really is a strong release, where John is more of a long loop.
60.
Yeah, it's a real spit of a dart he's got there.
140.
The last one he was looking to clatter into the first two, he'd stuck in there and it's just flown past them.
One of the best counters in the game, John Part. I'd probably put Eric Bristow at the top of the pile. And I'd probably put John Part second. You very rarely see him make a mistake in count, if he ever makes a mistake. Campbell at the moment, I know we're only in the first leg, but certainly he has taken the game to John Part. Part through first in this leg. Just finding it hard to get his range on the treble. That's better for Part.
100.
Just moving over as that first dart was standing up in the board a little bit.
45.
Covering a bit of the treble bed, he can't find a way past it. Dropped a flight. So let you know on stage two, the final game of the night on stage two, Kim Huybrecht's a man in really good form, coming back into form after a bit of a barren spell. 2-0 up on Dean Winstanley. Cracking looking match that, but it's all Huybrechts at the minute. He's averaging 105. But Campbell Jackson here.
45.
He's had 2 visits without a treble, and he's let Part back into the leg. John will know Jackson may only have a dart at the bullseye, so he's thinking one big treble, puts a bit of pressure on. Can't see quite if that's in the treble.
57.
Well, he hasn't done it.
Campbell, you require 86.
Campbell Jackson at the 18s. Another 18 will leave him the bullseye. That leaves him double 7. Double 7 down the left-hand side of the dartboard for a breaker throw. Big dart here for Jackson. Oh,
72.
right on the wire.
John, you require 94.
You'd have to say this is the kind of shot that John Part has become so adept at taking out, but never really threatening
54. Campbell, you
the
require
trebles
14.
with those first 2 darts. Tricky one this for Jackson, but makes it look easy with that second dart, and that puts him 1-0 up.
Second leg, Campbell to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, a breaker throw. Think about Campbell and Darryl. He's a good friend. When they start to get in front of you, they start, you know, they're very lively, bouncing
60.
around and what have you. And Campbell is one of the few people that always plays with long sleeve shirts on. You don't really see it very often at all.
Co-stompy manoeuvre.
Yeah, and he has it done up as well, which would, for a lot of players, it would be too restrictive.
100.
He wears it like a dress shirt. Probably a boss knowing a young man like him. I think it might be a Kamichi.
140.
Oh, not impeding him at the moment. And John Part replies.
140.
Ton 40 of his own to leave himself on a checkout at Campbell Jackson. So he'll leave a Part on 260.
140.
That will leave Jackson on a checkout on 161.
Yeah, you can see him bouncing around behind John Part. He's really up for this. You know, he's seen his best mate come through.
100.
The bragging rights in the room, if they're sharing, could be great. If one of them wins and one loses, so. And when you're
87.
partnering a guy, you know, you kind of, for you kind of goes together. One wins and it brings you on. You think, yeah, I can do it as well. And certainly Campbell's up for it. The demeanour in his body is really looking good.
125. Campbell, you require 74.
Some pressure on this, but that is a great dart from Campbell Jackson. Now looking at... Oh.
50.
I'd hit the 8 there, so I didn't catch where that dart had gone.
I don't know where that, because he wanted double 16, so that 8 was miles away. It must have been an absolute fly up, but double 9, as I said, the double 9, a terrible route.
No score.
And John Park's done the right thing and busted it. The best thing to do on 9, bust it. And that double 12, and double 12 it is, and Park has let Campbell Jackson off, and he's 2-0 up. Certainly, like I said, when these young men get bouncing behind you, they're really up for it. And John Park now has got to start to just steady himself down. Don't make any mistakes, do the very simple things.
100.
Make sure he executes them properly.
That's a lovely dart from Campbell Jackson.
137.
Good start to the leg. Just doesn't seem any consistency to Part at the minute. If he throws one decent dart, there's no guarantee that the next two will be anywhere near their intended target. That looks a lot better from Jackson. Superb stuff. Professional looking leg from Campbell Jackson.
Yeah, you're right with Park. You know, started off with a 140, then hit a bad shot. Now this doesn't look too good either. Having to switch to the 19s, manages to find the treble, but advantage to Campbell Jackson, and it would be another breaker throw.
45.
First poor visit he's had in this leg. Will Park make him pay for it? Big score here. This is on the Park throw, remember.
81.
Again, just when you think he's found some range, and disappears halfway down the 1.
62.
Oh, that 2. The first dart was unlucky. It's hit the flight and skidded into the 1, but the other one was just a flat bare 1, which is really cost Jackson a chance to really wipe this leg up. Now Park comes up, the 137 leaves him tops. He'll get a dart at double top if Jackson doesn't take out the 117. But this should be around the 60 to 70 mark instead of having to force the big check out.
45. John, you require 78.
Now the John Park of old will take this out, no bother. He's going to roll back the years and give us a glimpse of him. Loads of room for that double top.
58. Campbell, you require 72.
Never really threatened it. 72, double 6 now. Oh, it's pretty close, and manages to squeeze it in the bottom of the bed. 3-0 up now on the 3-time world champion.
And 2 breaks a throw. So you can see Campbell Jackson saying, come on, keep it going. John Park's going to have to step up the scoring power. He just isn't in the race when it comes to that.
80.
He had 1 dart at double top there. 3 darts at a double in the previous leg. And there we have it. Jackson leading both the averages.
135. 45.
Plenty of room for John Park there.
100.
And again, disappointing that he's not able to pile in and make the most of it.
Well, he's not benefiting from when he does put that first dart in the treble. And the way Campbell's going, he's got to start finding 2 trebles. He's got a good lead here. So just 1 treble will do him, but there's a lot of times when you need to find the 2 trebles. You know, especially when the first dart goes in there, you've got to find another.
Jackson moving across
60.
in an attempt to find the
John
treble bed,
Newcombe,
unable to do so.
170.
Part is looking good to break back here and get one of those breaks. Again, a good first dart. Can he do anything to follow it? Not a million miles away with a second.
105.
Moves down.
John, you require 60.
Well, he should have 2 darts at the double, but you know the amount of times you go for this 25 and hit the ball. You know, people ask me why I say that and why it happens so often. In actual fact, what happens is, although you want a 25, you're actually aiming at the bullseye, because the red bit in the middle takes all your concentration and your eye line. And you know, with these players, it just happens so often.
John Part for leg number 1 on the board. And he's going to have to go to the madhouse to get it.
No score.
And that is a mile away.
111.
Oh, this would be a sickener for the Canadian if Campbell Jackson could take this out. Treble 17 for tops. Not going to happen.
57. John, you require 4.
John Part will be back for that double 2. He'll be hoping he nails it first time and won't be messing about in a double 1.
Well, although it's a miss, it's a good miss. He can just lay it on the top there now. That's exactly what he's done. With the way John Part's darts lay, if they were kicking up, you couldn't have it below. But that was absolutely, we'd say, a perfect miss, because he just laid it on the flight. And we talked about the beer tray earlier on, and it's the expression, because that's what in exhibitions used to do. Just put a beer tray under the treble 20 and just tell people to slap it on top. That's literally what the flights do, and did for the double 2 for John Part.
Yeah, it can be tricky around the bottom end of the board there, particularly if the darts are like Campbell's, stick up and get in the way.
55.
But Part is off and running now. First leg on the board. Will we see him just crank up the pressure on his young opponent?
99.
It's fair to say John Part's not a player you expect to turn up and throw a 107 average in a demolition of somebody, but you do expect him to take out those shots at crucial times.
Yeah, his whole career has been renowned for that, and that's why he's a 3-time world champion and won a lot of other tournaments. And you know, he was always a battler. It was always going to be a tough game against Big John.
60.
And you know, although he was 3-0 down, you kind of feel that he was always going to have a surge and get himself back into this game. A bit of a weird grip, a close-up there of his grip. And not many people hold the dart like that, but Campbell, that's quite a common grip. Just thumb and forefinger at the back of the dart, and another finger just holding the point up, aiming it at the target.
Yeah, Part almost gripping it at the very tip and at the back and just resting it between them.
84.
Jackson looking for another one of those. A 140 would do nicely.
95. John,
yeah, that's a bad miss. Just a bare 20 would have been okay. Would have guaranteed himself at the bullseye. Mind you, John Part could take this out. Treble 19 now. And that is so unlucky. That was really close. As I said, Campbell Jackson should have been coming back. Worst weight, 86. So he's going to have to go. Well, he's gone for the treble 17s. He's hit the treble 17. Double top. Double top. A brilliant check out from Campbell Jackson. There's me thinking he may go 25 or bullseye. But no, attacks the treble 17 and the double top. And now another breaker throw. John Part starting to look a little bit in trouble.
Well, that was John Part-esque, that shot from Campbell Jackson, with his opponent sat on a double. Steps in and takes out a tricky 90-odd with no fuss whatsoever. Just to update you, the action on stage 2 is concluded for the evening, with Kim Hybrex continuing his recent brilliant form. A 6-2 winner over Dean Winstanley, 102.8 average, 3 180s from the Belgian. He joins his brother in the second round.
55.
Yeah, that's a good performance from Kim. Anything over 100 average is obviously brilliant. Dean Winstanley, you know, when he came over to the PDC, really looked like he was going to do something. Just gone off the ball the last year, 18 months. And to be quite honest, an 81 average, you know, that's poor from Dean, and he'll know it. He's a very honest dart player. You know, he'll tell you when he's playing bad and he needs to step it up. He'll look at that and know that it's not enough.
Yeah, he's talked about playing with the fire in his belly and trying to recapture what he had when he first came to the PDC. But of course, he hit the 9 darter at the World Championships. Went AWOL running around the back of the stage. Didn't even remember where he went at the time.
I think he ran around half of North London at the time.
Could have gotten a bus to Crouch Hill. Back to the matter at hand, and the matter at hand is seeing the big Canadian legend that is John Part in very real danger of an early exit here. The young man from Londonderry, Campbell Jackson, who's looking at treble 18 now. Wanted that for double 16. Now I'll just look to set it up.
68 left for him. Oh, and a brilliant last dart. I expected him to throw that high because that dart in the 20 looked a little bit fragile. Big dart here for John Part. Needs a 17 for double top, and you've got to say this is to stay in the match. Oh, that's the John Part of old. Campbell Jackson took the 91 out in the previous leg, and John Part took out the 82 to break straight back. Really gets John Part back in this game.
Well, 6 legs. I think we've had 4 breaks to throw. 5 breaks to throw, in fact. It's a topsy-turvy old game.
Thing is, we've known John from old, really, a long, long time, and you always think he's just going to come back and, you know, grind a result out. He's so good at doing it.
140.
Good darts from John Part there. What a response from Campbell Jackson that is.
21.
So much room for him there. This is the penultimate game of the evening for you. We have got Simon Whitlock, one of the stars of the world of darts, on the way.
60.
Big Australian, always popular on the European tour. Maybe very noisy to round off the night here at the NH Koningshof.
Yeah, great crowd pleaser is Simon.
100.
Obviously down in the Sydney Masters in August. Oh, the roof was coming off.
58. John, you require 103.
So John Part looking at 103 to pull back to within a leg of his opponent. Finds a treble first off.
Double 16 now.
71.
A long way off for Campbell Jackson. Yeah,
60.
not even. He needed the time just to put a little bit of pressure on. So 3 clear darts for John Part.
There looks to be room for him.
16. Can we require 145?
There's not quite room enough for him. No matter, Jackson won't take that
59.
out.
John, you require 16.
Well, he's already had 4 darts to wind this leg up. That was nearly in double 11. That isn't. Straight in the middle of double 8. John Part gets it back to 1 leg adrift at 4-3 down. But he's still a break down. He's still going to have to win a leg against the throw against this young man.
Good cover shot on the 19s from John Part there. Campbell Jackson getting stuck into the treble 20, just Just a ton. Campbell Jackson looking to assert his authority in this leg. And that's a great way to start. Once again, seeing a decent first dart from him, and his darts just fly past it. It's almost like he's trying to clatter into it. He does throw a very hard dart, Campbell Jackson. I suppose if you do miss slightly, it can go completely sailing past it and give the impression of being a dreadful dart.
Yeah, he probably throws one of the powerfulest darts in the game, to be quite honest, Campbell. But like you say, we keep saying that when you're going to get that first dart in the treble, you've got to follow it up.
77.
He's still plugging away, big treble with every three. And this is a serious leg. He's going to get 6 darts from 124.
96. Campbell, you require 124.
Oh, we keep saying it, don't miss the big numbers. Just, oh, he won't go 14 bullseye. He doesn't have to. He's got to go for 8s and 16s. Don't take the flash route in this sort of situation. Big 16.
76.
Well, he's missed big numbers there. Cost him a dart and a double.
Well, John Part, all he can do from 191 is try and apply some pressure, and that is a lovely way to start.
105.
105 puts him within striking distance. But Campbell Jackson is looking to go within one leg of the second round. It was a little bit ropey that first dart, but it meant that it was certainly out of the way for hitting the double 16 bed. Campbell Jackson 5-3 up now. John Part needs to win the next 3. Admittedly 2 on his own throat. It hasn't meant a great deal in this match. We've had so many breaks of throat.
54.
And that's not the best of starts. So the young man's going to feel confident. Now he needs to fill it up, and what a time to fill it up.
140.
Big pressure on the big Canadian. Really has got to pull something special out of the bag. We know he can do it. He's done it so many times over the past 25 years.
140.
And this will train on all his expertise over those 25 years.
Complete focus from Jackson. Strong start to what could be the final leg of the match. Can Part respond?
100.
Well, a ton's good. It may not be enough. And Jackson just dropping short of that treble bed, but what a cover shot that is.
Really was a great cover shot as well, because it looked like he was looking to try and force a dart through those 2 at the treble 20. Decided to switch at the last second and made John Part.
58.
Well, that doesn't help a visit without a treble, so possibly 6 darts from 139 for Campbell Jackson.
45.
Well, not managing to stay straight, but he is on a 2-darter. And John Part, what have you got, big man? That isn't a bad way to start. Treble 19. Oh, well.
Well, it'd be interesting, Dan, to see what way he goes. He went for 91, he went straight for the treble. So I expect him to go for treble 18 here instead of the bullseye. Now he's got to go double, surely. Oh, he's going for the treble. I expected the double 18,
54.
double top.
John, you require 16.
So John Part to stay in the match, double 8. Oh, if you're going to miss, it's not a bad miss. Oh, 1 dart left in his hand.
8.
Oh, and you could see the expression on John Part's face. It could be all over for the big Canadian, the 3-time world champion. Double 10. Double 10 it is for Campbell Jackson. That's a big scalp for the young man from Ireland. He knocks out the 3-time world champion John Part.